At 3:17 a.m., the child's laughter echoed through the house. It wasn't playful. It wasn't innocent. It sounded wrong. John woke up choking, unable to breathe, his chest burning as if invisible hands were crushing his ribs. Above him, carved into the wall in fresh, bleeding scratches, was a single word. Sallie. He screamed. But the house screamed louder. Chapter 1. The House on North 2nd Street. In Atchison, Kansas, there is a quiet, ordinary-looking house on North 2nd Street. White walls. Wooden floors. A porch that creaks like any other old American home. But locals don't call it a house. They call it a warning. Built in the late 1800s, the Sallie House looks harmless, until you spend a night inside. Families who lived there didn't last long. They complained of shadows, whispers, and a small girl seen wandering the halls. They all described her the same way. A little girl, white dress, cold eyes. They called her Sallie. Most people believed it was just another ghost story, until Tony and Deborah Pickman moved in during the early 1990s. That's when the house revealed its true nature. Chapter 2. The First Night. The Pickmans were skeptics. Tony worked nights. Deborah stayed home. They laughed at the idea of ghosts. On their first night, Deborah heard footsteps in the hallway, small, light steps, like a child walking barefoot. She opened the bedroom door. No one was there. Later that night, she felt a presence at the foot of the bed. She opened her eyes and saw a little girl standing silently, staring at her. Deborah whispered, "Who are you?" The girl vanished. The next morning, toys they didn't own appeared in the living room. Tiny handprints showed up on mirrors. And laughter echoed through empty rooms. But the worst had not yet begun. Chapter 3. Sallie's mood changes. At first, Sallie seemed shy. She would hide objects, turn lights on and off, giggle softly from corners of the house. Deborah felt strangely protective of her. But Tony felt hatred. Whenever he entered the house, the atmosphere changed. The air grew heavy. The walls creaked louder. The temperature dropped. And then came the scratches. One night, Tony woke up screaming. His arms, chest, and back were covered in deep claw marks, as if something had attacked him while he slept. No blood stains on the bed. No sign of a struggle. Only pain. And laughter. Chapter 4. The doctor's room. The house had a small room downstairs, once used as a doctor's office in the 1800s. Deborah felt drawn to it. One afternoon, while cleaning, she felt a sudden sharp pain in her abdomen. She collapsed, screaming. She later described feeling like she was being cut open from the inside. When she recovered, she researched the house's history. That's when she learned the story. A little girl named Sallie, suffering from severe abdominal pain, was brought to the house when it was a doctor's clinic. Without anesthesia, the doctor began surgery. The child screamed. She fought. And she died on the table. Or so the story claimed. But something didn't feel right. Chapter 5. The entity reveals itself. Tony's attacks became more violent. He was pushed downstairs, thrown against walls, choked in his sleep. One night, he felt something crawl onto his chest. He couldn't move, couldn't breathe. Inches from his face appeared a twisted, demonic face, smiling with blackened teeth. It whispered, You don't belong here. Tony fought back, screaming prayers. That's when the scratches appeared again, deeper than ever before. The couple realized something horrifying. Whatever lived in the house was pretending to be a child. Sallie wasn't a little girl. She was a mask. Chapter 6. The Basement Door. The basement door terrified Deborah. It was always cold, always dark, and always felt watched. One night, it opened by itself. From the darkness below came a growl, low, deep, and nothing like a child. Tony grabbed a flashlight and descended the stairs. Halfway down, the light went out. The door slammed shut above him. From the darkness came whispers, dozens of voices speaking at once. Scratches appeared on the walls. Tony screamed as something dragged him backward, tearing his shirt, carving symbols into his skin. When Deborah finally forced the door open, Tony lay unconscious at the bottom of the stairs. Carved into his chest. 666. Chapter 7. The Truth About Sallie. Paranormal investigators later suggested something disturbing. There was no historical record of a girl named Sallie dying in the house. No death certificate. No proof. The entity had created the story. It used the image of a child to gain trust. To feed. To stay. The house wasn't haunted by a ghost. It was infested. Chapter 8. The Final Night. The Pickmans decided to leave. On their final night, the house erupted. Doors slammed. Walls shook. Objects flew across rooms. A voice screamed from every direction. You are mine. Tony was thrown against the wall, lifted off the ground by unseen hands. His body twisted unnaturally as scratches appeared again and again. Deborah prayed louder than she ever had. Suddenly, silence. The house went still. The couple fled before sunrise. They never returned. Chapter 9. The House Today. The Sallie House still stands. Visitors report being scratched, touched, followed home. EVP recordings capture a child's voice whispering, "Play with me." But investigators warn, if it invites you to play, run, because Sallie is still there. And she's still hungry. Final warning, chilling ending. If you ever stand inside the Sallie house at night and hear a child laughing behind you, do not turn around, because what's wearing Sallie's face is not a child, and it never was. If this terrifying story sent chills down your spine, make sure to subscribe to our channel, Real Horror Story. If you enjoyed the horror, hit the like button, share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to share this nightmare with others. Stay connected with Real Horror Story, where every tale leaves a mark in the dark. Smile with horns.